Today we're going to take a look at an interesting new meme coin launchpad on Sui that just went live a few days ago in Blast.fun. It's backed by some pretty big players in the ecosystem. We'll talk about what makes it unique, why it's worth paying attention to, and then we'll go through the process of testing it out. Before I begin, please note nothing I say is financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. Take a look at their X profile. They're currently over 6,000 followers. Again, this launched just a few days ago, and if we scroll down, you can see that they already have partnerships, it looks like, with Aftermath Finance, as well as Bluefin, which is one of the top dexes and perps trading platforms on Sui. Bluefin stands in the front lines with Blast.fun. All tokens graduating from Blast.fun will be listed and tradable on Bluefin's spot. So that's a pretty big deal that Bluefin is backing this brand new Sui ecosystem meme coin launchpad. So in a second, we'll go through the process of connecting our wallet and testing this out, looking at the key features. But before we do that, I want to highlight this post from Zach Pumps, who's a great follow on X, all things Sui. The new meme coin launchpad you should care about just went live on Sui. Pump Fun brought many new coins, traders, and a lot more volume to Solana. Here's a breakdown on Blast.fun and how it can do the same for Sui. What is Blast.fun? It's a meme coin launchpad built by a number of notable teams and contributors in the Sui ecosystem, like OXD34, Nexa, which is one of the top decentralized trading platforms on Sui, GiveRep, we already mentioned Bluefin, which is a top 5 player within the entire Sui ecosystem, and then Interest Labs is another big player in the Sui ecosystem. So this is the first one backed by multiple big names. Blast is a SocialFi focused meme coin launchpad, which allows you to link your X account for token buys and launches. Token launches are extremely transparent and much easier than competing launchpads. Link your X account so that everybody knows it's your token. You can also use sniper protection, which limits buyers to only using Blast, preventing supply from getting bottled. So for buying specifics, cool additions on Blast are, as the dev, you can whitelist certain wallets, set how much people can buy in pre-sale, and even mandate buyers link their X account. This can be taken to the extent of only allowing your followers to buy your token. There'll also be a Twitter terminal where you can buy directly from tweets and make referral links so you earn on the volume. Interesting. Manifest, which we'll take a look at this coin in a second, is a great example of what can come out of a launchpad like this. In just a few days, it's sitting at multi-billion-dollar market cap, has pretty big community behind it. Graduating tokens. In addition to all of this, the tokens that graduated from Blast will be listed for spot trading immediately on Bluefin and Aftermath, making it even easier to buy. Again, two major players in the ecosystem. There have been tokens that came out of launchpads like this on Solana that are now listed on major sexes like Coinbase. Blast.fun brings a transparent and fun land of opportunity to fortify Sui's culture and get more eyes on the chain. So very interesting. And you can see the layout is very similar to all the other meme coin launchpads. We have newly created, near graduation, and graduated. Let's go ahead and connect our wallet. I'll go with Slush. And if we scroll down under graduated, you can see the first one that's graduated from this platform is Manifest. Let's take a look at that. Taking a look at the layout, pretty clean, easy to navigate. Manifest, the first one to graduate from the bonding curve, currently sitting at 2.89 million market cap. A few days ago, it was up over 5 million. Here's the volume, 24 hours, and total liquidity sitting at 633K. Taking a look over here, you can see who it was created by, which is nice. It links to their X profile, so you can go out and take a look at the creator. I'll go ahead and give them a follow. I like this because it adds an element to holding devs accountable, creators of the tokens accountable for actually trying to move the project forward. Could people just create fake Twitter accounts and launch tokens? Of course, but when you see one by a well-known member in the Sui community, it's going to add credibility instantly to the token. It's a nice piece to add to a meme coin launchpad, in my opinion. Take a look at Trusted. It says followers actively engaged in crypto and verified by the community, so 814 followers, 4,700. Here's where you can buy or sell it right through the platform. We'll go through the process of testing this out in a minute. And then this is interesting, referral program, earn 10% commission on all trades. So if you're a holder of Manifest, you can go ahead, create a referral link, activate it, and then share that on X, earn 10% on anybody that actually clicks through and buys, which is another way to build support for meme coins. And then down here, you can take a look at the trades 37 seconds ago, 4 minutes ago, and so on. Let's go back to the homepage. You can see there have been quite a few that have graduated. Again, with this just being a few days old, pretty impressive. The graduated tokens are instantly migrated to Bluefin, Spot, as well as Aftermath Finance. You have these sitting near graduation, and then here's the newly created. Let's take a look at launch. So it requires you to connect your X account in order to launch a token. Let's go ahead and do that. So then the process of launching your token is pretty straightforward. Go ahead and give it a name, a ticker symbol, upload an image. You could use Grok to create the image, give it a description, and then this is kind of interesting here where you could link a website, Telegram, and then then your Twitter is going to be linked by default. Again, just to add transparency to who is behind the token that's being created. Dev buy amount. Dev could enter any amount. I believe they could leave it at 0 if they wanted to, but it would just add credibility if the dev did put up some Sui to start. Hide creator identity. X handle will be redacted. So even though it made us connect our X account to get to the token launch form, devs do have the option to turn this on to actually hide your identity, which if I'm looking at tokens on Blast.fun, I'm going to probably shy away from any that use that functionality. And then sniper protection, if we enable that, you can see that then you have the option to require buyers to connect their X account in order to buy your token. You could also set the max holdings per wallet, which is interesting. One more thing I believe sniper protection does is it allows traders to only buy through Blast.fun. So very interesting, but overall pretty straightforward and simple process in terms of creating a new token on Blast.fun. Let's go to portfolio. So you can see I tested this out, purchased a little bit of Manifest yesterday. I'm down a little bit on it, but this portfolio is nice to see your P&L in one clear page. And then if we go to rewards, you can see this is coming soon. So that's interesting. And that would suggest that by using the platform early, being early adopter, you would be earning points towards a eventual leaderboard, I would guess, that would come out. So let's go back to Manifest. And before we go ahead and make a purchase, let's take a look at their X profile, as I always like to do that before ever buying a meme coin, whether it's on Sui, Solana, or any other chain. You can see Manifest approaching 1,000 followers, which is pretty good for a few days old. I want to see how active they are. Do they seem to have a community behind them? You can see this post is from 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago. Manifest is the first token from Blast.fun to get verified on Slush Wallet. That's interesting. Again, a post from 3 hours ago, 18 hours ago, 20 hours ago. So this tells me this is pretty active. In addition to Manifest being the first token to graduate from Blast.fun, it also seems to be building an active community. Let's go ahead and copy the contract address right here for Manifest. And then we'll go to Sui Vision, which is the top explorer for the Sui blockchain. Let's paste it in, take a closer look at it. Specifically, what I'm looking at is the number of holders, which it's over 1,000. Again, pretty good for a new token on a new Launchpad. And then here is where you can see the percentage that the top holders have. This is the dev holding about 17%, but then everything else underneath that looks pretty good in terms of other wallets not having a huge percentage of the tokens. One more thing I would take a look at would be the creator's X profile. I would go through, take a look at how long they've been around, how old is the account, do they seem to be respected members in the community, and that would play into it as well. How often are they posting about the token that they launched? So that checks out. I'm seeing a lot of stuff about Manifest, and this account has been around since January 2023. So those are just some of the things I would look at. In addition to, you can see all of these dev buys. Been buying up the token quite a bit, which I like. So let's go ahead and test this out. We'll buy, let's just say 4 Sui. Slippage is at 5%. I'll change that to 2%. That's going to give us 4.97K Manifest. We'll say buy. Go ahead and approve it in our Slush wallet. And then if we go to portfolio, you can see we now have a balance of over 10,000 Manifest, and total value is $28. Let's go back to Manifest, and then you can see here it's going to show you that I just bought right here. Here's my average position. Here's where I bought a few days ago, so it's averaged down to here. Since I'm holding this token, I would go ahead and create a referral code. So let's just say STOI, and then activate. So now I can go ahead and copy that link, and I could share it on X and get 10% referral when people use my link to buy. So pretty straightforward. I like the social aspect of this. I like that the devs have the option to be transparent and connect their X account to see who created the token. I like that devs also have the ability to turn on sniper protection and require users to connect their X account to buy it. Again, kind of creating more of an exclusive community around your meme coin, and then setting the amount they can buy per wallet is interesting as well. So these are some new dynamics that we haven't seen on other Sui Meme Coin launch pads. I like the fact that it's backed by Bluefin as well as Aftermath Finance, and I think that Blast.fun is something to keep a close eye on as we head into the end of this year, where many anticipate the bull run picking up. If we do see more volume come into the Sui ecosystem from Solana, Ethereum, and other chains, the infrastructure is in place, in my opinion, for a booming meme coin bull run. Sui has the dexes, trading tools like Nexa, Noodles, and others. Then you mix in the fact that it's built on Sui, extremely fast layer 1 blockchain with low fees, similar to Solana, but even faster. I think it's worth paying attention to a new platform like this. We saw what happened with Solana when Pump.Fun gained traction. I'm not saying Blast.Fun is going to be Pump.Fun, but what I'm saying is that even if it captures some of that magic momentum, then early adopters of a platform like Blast.Fun, backed by Bluefin and other big players, is something that I would want to participate in, especially since we know there's a rewards program coming and they already have a referral program for individual tokens. So just wanted to share this as I've seen Blast.Fun all over my timeline. Let me know if this is something that interests you, and if it was helpful, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more crypto content. See you in the next one.